Welcome to Malcom Reed's How to Barbecue Right, a podcast where we talk about barbecue, share recipes, and discuss all things delicious. And now, here's your host, Malcom and Rochelle Reed.
Hey, welcome back to the How to Barbecue Right podcast. I'm your host, Malcom Reed. I forgot who it was for a second. Joined by my lovely wife, Miss Southern Shell. And we got Tyler at the boards. But Shell, how are you doing today?
Great. We are very busy.
Hey, it's contest week. This has been a short week for us. We're hitting the road.
Real quick, before we start to talk about the podcast, I want to mention that we have reached our goal with Palmer Home. We have
we need a bell or something. Tyler, we put in some sound on that one. We need like a big siren going off or something. Yeah. We hit that 20,000. You know, when we first set out to do this, Shell, I was like, how in the heck are we going to raise 20 grand by Labor Day?
And what
it was going
you?
Slow. You said, just trust you.
I said,
we did. We committed to it. And, man, I want to thank everybody that donated because this has been awesome. And it's really going to help the Palmer Home out.
Yeah.
I mean, those people are really going to put this money to use. It goes to them. That's my favorite thing about Palmer Home. It's not an organization where you don't know where that money's going. Yeah. We're giving it to the Palmer Home, and they're giving it to one of their families, and it's going to feed those kids for a whole year. So it really helps, and they don't get government assistance or anything like that. It's a totally private organization, and all their funds come from the money they raise, and so they depend on people like you and people like us to help them do that and to help these kids out. So it's a really, really appreciate everybody that helped us.
And we are going to continue.
We're not through.
Yeah, we're going to see how much we can raise because we're going to take it all the way to the end of Labor Day.
Yeah, and they have an event coming up, too. I don't know all the details on it, but I know we're going to be cooking the barbecue part of it. It's the Sunflowers and Shotguns event. So if you're in the area, you can go to palmerhome.org and find out information about their upcoming events. They do stuff all the time. They've got some tailgating events coming up at University of Mississippi and Mississippi State University. They do stuff all year, not just the Mud Bug Bash and stuff. So it's really, really some good times hanging out with them.
This weekend, we are cooking a KCBS and MBN and SCA contest.
This is my first KCBS contest of the year.
I can't tell you the last time you cooked a KCBS.
It's been a year. It was in probably at Shriners in Nesbitt up there last June.
Did you cook that one last June?
Yeah. We did. We finished middle of the pack. It was not a good one, but that was my first one there.
That was after year, quarantine?
I don't expect to do any better than half because if we finish halfway, if we get one call, if I get to I want to bring one fiddle back. That's my goal.
And what do you got to do to get a fiddle?
You got to finish in the top three, like 1, 2, or 3 in the category.
In any category.
I think so. We're doing all 4 KCBS categories. We're doing chicken, ribs, pork butt, brisket. They're also doing an MBN contest, so we're going to do our Memphis and May recipe for our ribs and that. That's the one I got confidence in. I think me and Waylon can get the ribs in there, top 3. Now, you signed up for SCA.
Me and Michael.
You and Michael are going to tag team the SCA state contest, and you signed up for the hot wings contest too. So I wonder if they're going to give. I don't know if they give fiddles for those two.
I doubt it. Very seriously, maybe
you might get a cool Virginia plaque.
Yeah, you might get a fiddle for first place steak or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
If you and Michael win first place steak, that would be awesome. Y'all hadn't cooked a steak together in a year either. When was the last steak you cooked at a contest?
At a contest, Arkansas.
Arkansas, yeah, over at Shane's.
Yeah,
Townsend's, Melbourne, Arkansas, last August.
Yeah,
man, we hadn't done much competition cooking. It's time to kick it back off, though.
Well, quarantine kind of.
We got is it a new trailer now, or is it a slightly new trailer? we've cooked on it a couple times. Slightly used trailer. It's gently used now, right?
Yeah.
But we've got it out here at the shop, getting it all loaded up, going through all the water and the power, and making sure the ACs work. Got to get the smoker cleaned on the back because it's been sitting up all winter after cooking at deer camp. That's where it's been sitting out.
In most contests, you leave on a Friday, come back on a Saturday afternoon or Saturday evening. This is we're leaving 4 a.m. Thursday morning.
And we're going to Galax, Virginia, which is probably about 9 hours from us, but it's an hour ahead, so it'll be 10 hours on the road. And then we're going to get there Thursday afternoon, hopefully late afternoon. Go to McAdoo's. That's what that's my favorite thing about going to Galax. They've got this little restaurant right downtown, right where the contest is. If you've never been to Galax, it's a little mountain town that's got a awesome little downtown area. It's like, it's old school. So it reminds you of being like in Mayberry or somewhere like that. And matter of fact, where that Mayberry is not far from there. It's like Mount something in North Carolina.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's not far from there at all. But it's just a little mountain town, and it's so cool, and the town really comes out and supports it. And they've got a restaurant there called McAdoo's, and man, it is awesome. It's like the ultimate bar restaurant because everything there is bar food. It's like they've got,
but it's good bar food.
Oh, really good bar food.
Yeah.
And they got all your typicals, wings, and
but you can still bring a kid
sandwiches
there
and stuff. Yeah, but you can still take a kid there. It's not like centered around the bar. It's just a cool place, and that's where we end up hanging out all weekend. But they have all their vendors, and then there's all kinds of cool stuff. And they've got
the root beer man.
Got the root beer.
Have y'all ever been to a fair and it's like a guy with a root beer truck and he sells you a cup and you can fill up your root beer?
You ever seen that, Tyler?
No.
Oh, it's awesome. It's like these old wooden barrels, and that's where I guess the root beer stations are. But it's like cream soda, orange soda, all these old fashioned sodas, and it's like you buy the cup for $10-15. As long as you got the cup, you can come back and get it filled up that weekend.
That's awesome. That sounds like my kind of place right there.
Just need to bring some vodka and some bourbon. See which one goes with it.
Y'all would always get that guy on the root beer.
That might be a TikTok there. The root beer man drinks.
What can you make? Yeah.
You put me some ice in here. Hold on one second. Let me doctor it up. We're gonna do this on TikTok.
Go get some scoops of ice cream around dessert time.
Yeah. I'm so looking forward to going to Galax. It is so much fun.
Why is Galax one of those contests that everybody kind of talks about and wants to go to?
I don't know. We started going, man, I don't know how many years ago it was. I think it's the awards. There was the most, because it wasn't the money. They don't pay out a ton of money. It used to not. This time the payout's pretty good.
Really?
But it used to, the payout, you break even if you won. But now it's like you can, do okay. But the awards is what was cool, and the atmosphere, and it's middle of July. So it's screaming hot here and most of the South. But you go up in the mountains, and it might hit 80 degrees, but man, they don't have the humidity. It's so not. It gets cool at night.
Yeah,
and it's just a good break, and it's a good summer break from our weather here, and to go somewhere different in the country and cook and meet a bunch of people. Because that's one thing that stood out to me is the town supports it so much. So you end up, people come and just talk to you the whole time. They're really interested in what you're doing. They're thankful for you coming to their town because it is. It's a boost in tourism. It's bringing some dollars to their town.
Yeah.
So it's just an awesome place to be.
Yeah.
If you've never been up in that part of the country, I highly suggest going and check it out. This isn't even the biggest event they have there. They're like the world fiddling competition capital of the world. Yeah. And so every year they have this big, huge fiddling competition, bluegrass music, and that's what they're known for. That's how they got away giving away the fiddles and the banjos. All that stuff, and there's all these cool little music shops there. So I try to play a little guitar, so I'm always interested in going there and looking at the different instruments and stuff like that. And they usually have some really good street bands. I know there was always a beach party. Like years ago when we go, it was like they did like a beach party. So they had like this. It wasn't. I guess it's a cover band. They're playing all the beach hits.
Like Beach Boys,
Wipe Out, all of them. Surfing in the USA, all that. But this year, they don't. I saw someone ask if the beach band's coming. It's not. It's like a 80s cover band. So I'm like, I can get into that.
Yeah.
So it ought to be interesting.
As long as it's
there's a lot of heavy hitters going. I looked at the people that are signed up for steaks, and man, Myron Mixon's going to be there. He's probably cooking all three, cooking hog and everything. And there's a lot of guys. He's a good cook. I don't know if he can cook a steak. Have you ever seen him cook a steak contest?
I don't know.
But there's all the the big name teams from Memphis area is going to be there. Yeah. I'm sure there'll be some top KCBS teams there.
There always are.
Top SCA teams will be there. I saw Mark Lambert signed up. He's going. He's probably cooking all three divisions. Jonesy Q. Who else did I say? Trying to think of who all. Heath. I think Heath Riles is going to be there. Is he not going?
No, I just talked to Candace. They're not going.
They're not. They backed out.
Yeah.
Killer Hogs are going to be there. They always pull a lot of those Georgia teams because it's not far from there. So, Lonnie will be there. He's done really well there. But a lot of those teams will.
Does BBQ still compete?
I don't know if he still does or not. I think he's running restaurants.
Any of the KCBS points runners?
I hadn't seen a list of the KCBS teams, but I'm sure there'll be some there. And there's some big name teams in that area. Tommy Houston's over that way. Tuffy's over that way. I've seen him there before.
Yeah.
I think it's his happy birthday, Tuffy Stone. I saw it on Facebook. It's his birthday.
He's a good cut. He's a heck of a cut.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to go. We're leaving tomorrow morning.
How much stuff do we have left to do? Because it seems like all week we've just been.
I think it's because we haven't cooked a contest in so long.
All my stuff's out of order. It's like scattered here and there. I've had a trailer down in Senatobia. I've got some stuff here at the office, some stuff at the house, some stuff out at Martin Jamie's. I don't even know where all my stuff is.
Yeah. So we've had to gather everything up, get it washed, get it clean, get it back in order.
I got to get me some new probe. Don't let me forget probes. Because I got all my ThermalWorks probes together and got my little thermometer box that you got me for Christmas. I got all that stuff together. My probes are looking pretty rough.
So you're going to buy new probes?
I'm going to need new probes.
From the shop?
I'm going to have to get them. That's all. I ain't got time to order them. I actually just ordered some because Mark went up and I ordered some fireboard probes because they're like smaller diameter, shorter probes, and they'll be great for steaks and chicken and things, ribs. But I'm going to buy the ThermalWorks ones here for the shop to take with us. Those are the ones I typically use, the shorter, straight ThermalWorks. I like them because I can stick them with the money muscles. If I want to stick it in my brisket flat, I don't have to deal with that 6-inch probe. It's a shorter probe, and they work so much better. But I've used them on a grill eye instead of the ThermalWorks.
You use the ThermalWorks probe?
Yeah, because I can hook 6 up to one device, and it just sends it to my phone.
There's a new ThermalWorks product that has is it a 6 or 4?
Signals has 4, I think. I've got one.
I know it has a 4. I'm thinking there's a 6.
I'm probably, you know what? It's still at the house. I'll probably didn't take it. I got my barbecue guru. I'm taking it all. I'm getting it all.
We sell
I'm having
signals here
options.
too.
Do we sell the signals here too?
We sell some, I don't know.
I need to go look. I've used the signals a few times. We used it when we cooked hog over at Mark Lambert's contest, at SEA contest, I had a hog. There's another one of those coming up, past Christian.
What?
A hog, SEA hog with the steak.
Really? So they cook the hog as an ancillary?
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah.
You sign up for it, and the hog's included. So everybody that signs up,
price?
It's pretty steep.
Like $300-$400.
Imagine it's like $550, $650.
Ooh.
You got to think. What do you think a hog costs right now?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I bet you can get a hog for probably less than $300, maybe a little more.
And that's just a basic old.
That's a 150-pound feeder hog.
Yeah.
Roaster hog, they call them. It ain't nothing fancy. I've never been down there. I passed through down that way, but I've never cooked down there. It's close to New Orleans.
Did you say past Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, it's awesome.
Have you been there before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When is the contest? Could we go to New Orleans?
I have to look. I think it's the weekend of that Brian's wedding.
Oh, okay.
So it kind of messes up on that.
I'll cook it for you. I got
You
you.
go down and cook a hog. It is fun. It is fun. That'd be a good. How long a drive is that, Tyler? 5, 6 hours?
It's like right at 5.
Yeah.
It's like 5 and 15 minutes, I believe.
Yeah.
I like going to New Orleans.
Well, now I want to go.
I bet it'd be fun. It's not too far from the shed.
You just go literally the only difference between past Christian and New Orleans is there's that huge bridge that you go over, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the only travel time you really have.
Yeah, I remember we came back there. We went over to the beach from New Orleans one time. We went right through. They had all the beaches closed. They had that red tide.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like they get it real bad down there. So it's like an algae bloom where they.
That was a couple years
nuts.
back.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of you pay your fee and everybody gets their hog there because it kind of eliminates a lot of the headache of getting the hog and transporting the hog and stuff.
Keeping it cold.
There is a.
You just never know what you're going to get. You get a poker chip just like the steaks, and you go in there, and usually, the only time I've done it, they had like a reefer trailer, and there's just all these hogs in there wrapped up, and you go in there and say, "Yep, I'll take that one," and then you got to tote it back to your site.
Yeah.
You better be prepared. If you think you're just going to grab it and run with it.
Do they all come about the same weight?
Yeah, for the most part, what I saw, they try to keep them running at 150 range, but there were some that were under and some that were a little over. That was the thing about picking them. You only got so long, and you're in there trying to flip tags and see what they wrote the weight on. Yeah, because I like them 150. That's perfect. I think the one we got was like 148 the time I did it, so it was right there where we wanted it. We actually did good with that hog. Was that last year? That was last year.
No, that was May.
You sure?
Yep, because we left the Derby and you went and cooked it.
This year?
Yes. Do you remember?
I do not remember that.
We had the derby the night before, and then you were feeling really rough while you were cooking that hog the next day.
Yeah.
Is
Man, that wasn't this
No,
year.
that
was
was
last year.
You're right.
It was last year. I got COVID after that. I probably
That's
got
right.
it there. I'm pretty sure I got it there because it was like a week later. I was like, I'm sick.
That's
Tested
right.
positive. I can't prove it was there. I had my mask on.
It's September 10th, 2021, by the way.
Oh, man, that's not long at all. Yeah, I was thinking it was closer to November. September 10th. That's
Is it hog addiction? Is that what it's called?
That's dove. We got the big dove hunt that weekend on the 11th. Can't do it.
This past week, we had a beach fishing trip.
We did. We shot down to Dolphin Island. Shell's rocking the hat. I don't know if y'all can see it on camera, but she got her brand spanking new pink Dolphin Island hat. She did not fare well. Don't let her. We put out a TikTok video. It did not do good, but man, it was a fun trip.
Yeah, I am done with deep sea fishing.
She's never going again, Tyler.
Wait,
She said when she was on that boat, we did a 10-hour trip this time. And how long did it take you to start feeling ill? 30 minutes?
30 minutes, yeah.
Oh.
So 9.5 hours of struggling. You only got sick twice that I saw.
It's a lot of work to keep yourself from getting sick. You got to look out. You got to sit on the back, look at the horizon, breathe deep. But the whole time you're just wanting to get sick.
Now
It's
I feel bad that
miserable.
you were recording and stuff.
Oh, yeah. No, for her to have put that, she recorded all that stuff for that TikTok video while she was seasick.
Dang.
I would hold the camera up and say, "Look at the camera," and then just sit there and go like that.
Just trying to match. At one point, you were just like sitting on the deck box out back, and the camera was. I saw some footage you had looking through your phone,
Yeah.
and it was just like on recording, and it was just like on the next person sitting beside you. I was like, "What are you doing?" You were just mashing on your pressure point or something the whole time filming.
Yes, you do this.
It wasn't even that bad this time. Like it wasn't that rocky.
It wasn't.
It was 1 to 2s. It was a real 1 to 2s.
Eh,
It was not
I'm
like
just
the
not
time
cut
I
out
got
for
sick.
it.
I was okay till one of the kids got sick, and then Shell gets sick, and then I start thinking about it. So once I got outside, though, the whole trick is stay outside.
Yeah.
If you start getting sick, get outside the cabin, sit on the back, look at the horizon, just don't think about it, and you usually pull through.
I think I'm just very sensitive to it.
Yeah, you're not. You do not have sea legs.
I would have been a terrible pirate.
Did y'all take Dramamine this time?
While I was on the boat, yeah, I
was
started
way too
gobbling that stuff up.
But once we got back to the what you call it, the bay, I guess.
Yeah, yeah,
You
you're
were
fine.
fine, yeah. But when you were out there on the ocean, it got her, and we went. I don't know, probably 50 miles, maybe.
Yeah, we went far. Oh, it was a beautiful trip.
Weather was nice. It wasn't too hot. I mean, it was sunny, and water was a little choppy. We caught a bunch of snapper, and it was.
I just happened to be sitting where I was sitting on the deck box was right where they were throwing the fish. So I did get a bunch of cool shots of the fish hitting the
You didn't catch
tote.
one. Like last time we went, you did fine. You caught a bunch of fish. This time, I don't even think you touched a pole, did you?
couldn't. I was doing good to just stay
Live.
on there. It wasn't the worst seasickness trip I've ever had, but it's
If you've
still
never
no
been to
fun.
Dolphin Island, it's a cool place. It's not like a real touristy area. I wouldn't say it's a private island, but it's a small island.
Yeah.
There's some people that live there permanently, but it's mainly fish camps. If you've ever, seen those like fishing villages where it's got like all the little houses up on stilts. There's little inlets that run all in because most of the houses have a boat slip. And there's a big marina where they do the charter boat or, the big boats go from. The rest of it, you just zip around on golf carts. I mean, you can drive on it, but most of them zip around on golf carts. All the beaches are not crowded. The water's not as pretty there as it is because it's close to the Mobile Bay. It's not as pretty as it is over in Orange Beach or Gulf Shores, but the beaches are still just as, perfect white sand.
I like it because it's not very crowded. You don't have a lot of restaurant choices.
There's
but
no
it's
change.
not
at all.
very crowded.
Yeah, there may be 4 or 5 restaurants on the whole island.
Yeah.
You pretty much cook your food.
Yeah.
That's what we did.
You cooked a pork butt on a Ranger.
I did. We took a Traeger Ranger down there with us, and some of our friends we went with were camping. They stayed down there a month. They take their RV down there, stay in a little campground, and so we went and hung out with them. We got a we got a little. There's only one condo, like one condo building on the whole place, and that's where we stayed, just because we were only there for 4 or 5 nights. And but it was right across from the campground where they were staying, so we took the Ranger over there, and man, Tyler, that thing would cook a pork butt, man. It did real good.
What's a Ranger?
What's
a Traeger Ranger?
So it's a tailgate. Would you call it a tailgate grill?
It's a portable.
It's
grill.
made for camping, RV life, tailgating, things like that. There's enough room on it. I would say probably like chicken rack size. Would you say it's
probably
that big?
That would be an 8x10, an 8x11.
Yeah, that's the cooking grate. You can get a small brisket on it. You can get one pork butt on it, no problem.
It'd be a small brisket.
Yeah, a flat. You can definitely cook a flat.
Yeah.
But the pellets go right beside it on the lid lifts up. It looks like a big suitcase kind of. You open it up, one half of it's where you put your pellet hopper. The auger and the fire pit are right below the cooking grate underneath the heat deflector, just like a regular pellet grill. You cook right on the cooking surface, and the grease drains out the back. And it's just a simple little grill. And I ran it at 250 for probably 8-9 hours for that pork butt. And it was never having to fill any more pellets. I don't know how many pellets. I think it holds 7 pounds of pellets. And I never had to add any for that whole cook. I was amazed. That's the longest I've cooked on one. I've used it before to do smash burgers. We did some ribeye steaks with it when Chad came into town. Me and Tyler cooked some bacon on it for those BLTs. We did the TikTok of the BLTs. I've cooked a few times on it, not a whole lot.
What'd you learn about cooking bacon on it?
If you're cooking Wright's bacon, you better make sure that thing's level, because when that grease drains, it may not go out the drain properly, and it will start a fire. It will do that.
Do you have any footage of that, Tyler?
I do. And I would also say, just no matter what, just always make sure it's even, because like me and Mikey had almost the same problem, but it was on the back of his truck. So.
Yeah. Just make sure it's. I mean, you do that now.
That is something we were doing down there. Is we throw it level on it.
Yeah, we leveled it, and that. I mean, really, you should always make sure wherever you're cooking with a pellet grill is level, because
I never really thought about.
It just makes it run smoother, makes the grease flow right. But if you don't, and it backs up and it gets down, because it does have a fire in it, and when you're cooking when I was cooking bacon, I had it cranked up to 400 degrees, and it don't take long for bacon fat to go to flame.
I think we got it all cooked though. Like it was like right at the end, right there.
Yeah, we got it all cooked. We just I cooked a whole 3-pound pack of Wright's bacon.
That's a lot of grease.
It's a lot of grease. Made some good BLTs.
I think Dustin had the same problem.
He did it with bacon.
Yeah.
When he told me, he's like, man, and I said, you got to level. That's when he got the level out, and we started leveling stuff. But the pork butt, so my idea with cooking that pork butt wasn't for us to eat. I was like, I'm buttering this captain up, because we went fishing with him last year, and he said, y'all didn't bring you barbecue? So this time I said, I'm going to bring him some barbecue. So I bought that butt. Did I take it with us?
You found it at the Walmart.
Yeah, that's right. I bought it at Walmart in Mobile.
Yeah.
And took it down there and put it in the fridge, and then we cooked it the day before, shredded it up that night, threw it in a Ziploc bag and pan, and then took it out there. And I was like, well, they'll have some stuff to take home to eat. The captain and deck can, maybe feed their families. No, man, they ate about half that butt that day.
They had to be hurting.
Yeah. I mean, as soon as we got on the boat that morning, you get out there early, it was 6:30.
Yeah.
And I was like, here, we brought y'all some barbecue, and you don't have to eat it, because I knew they had a refrigerator on there. And then it wasn't like, we weren't untied and backed out before he set the deck can down. They made a big plate. But they weren't making sandwiches. They're just like eating a plate of barbecue.
Yeah.
And so he popped it in the microwave and drizzled some vinegar sauce over it, and climbed up the ladder where the cat was. Yeah. And then they come back down, they just kept getting plates of barbecue. They would go devour it. So I think they were happy.
Yeah.
We took sandwiches. We had like bologna sandwich, turkey sandwich, ham sandwich. Did you even eat a sandwich, Shell?
No, but I love a good boat sandwich.
Man, you can't beat a boat sandwich. They had a green egg on there. I should have took something and cooked on the Next time I'm cooking something on a green egg.
It's something about the bread, the white bread, and the meat and the cheese and stuff. It just gets all like
together.
It's like pulling it out of a lunchbox or something. Love it.
Oh, on a boat. That and veiny sausages, man, that's my jam. On a boat.
Do you put your condiments on your boat sandwich before you pack it?
No.
And put it in the cooler? You just
bread, meat, cheese. That way you don't have to worry. You're good for till lunchtime if you do that.
Right at the corner of 51 and Oak Grove Road, they had like this gas station on the corner, and they used to have like the best sandwiches like that, like bologna with the.
Was it white bread?
Yeah, white bread, like
the little one that
JR's,
closed. Okay, yeah.
Before J&J's One Stop. That was some good sandwiches.
Heck yeah, that bologna sandwich. I've had that before. It was right beside the bait shop. Tadpoles was there.
You hit them both up on your way to fish?
That's right. I'd take Michael up there and get him a bucket of mayonnaise and 2 bologna sandwiches from the next door.
Would they like put it on a slicer and slice bologna, or was it just like
no? They
pre-sliced?
sliced it. Yeah, they sliced it. It was a deli. They had like a deli counter. J&J does that too. You never been in there, Tyler? And got
I hadn't tried theirs yet.
Their food's, man, I'm going to put their gas station food up against anybody's. Their fried chicken's the best fried chicken in Hernando.
I always try. So I went there one day. They had chicken rotel spaghetti. On the day that I went, it was like I was like dieting or something. So I was like, man, I'm not going to get it. And I have not been able to go back since. And like,
I mean, they do meatloaf. They do. Man, they got some ladies in there that can cook.
Is it only in the South that you get really good food out of gas station?
I don't know.
Like you get meat and 3 around here.
Yeah,
you know, you can get
that's where working folk go.
Yeah,
you shoot in there and fill your cooler up with ice and your waters and Gatorades and fill your gas up.
Beer, depending on
how your boss is. You grab your lunch and you back to work.
Yeah,
wasn't there a bang up sushi place in Memphis?
Yeah, I used to live like around the corner.
It was Lee's, wasn't it?
Yeah, Lee's.
Man, nobody knew about that.
My roommate did, Jose. Yeah.
Lee's Sushi. That's what it was. It was in right there on Poplar and Ridgeway, I think it was. I don't know if it's still there. Is it?
Of it, but no, I don't think so.
He works at a Mexican restaurant now, but he still kind of does like the same thing. That's what I was reading. Really? It was like a whole article, yeah.
At a Mexican joint?
Yeah, Mexican joint, but it's kind of like I guess he does like a Mexican Asian fusion food.
Where's that?
I'm not 100% sure. I'd have to look that up.
Track that down. You can get tacos. You can get tacos and you can get sushi.
Yeah, but the flavors are both real fresh, and
like supposedly has like
tacos.
Like a Korean barbecue taco and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah. Now that's cool. I'll be down for that. I think got some good fish tacos there. If he's got, because his tuna rolls are really good. If you can get over buying it at a BP gas station.
So this past weekend, we cooked a ribeye steak that came from the butcher shop.
Oh, man. God. Mark asked me Monday, he's like, man, how was that steak good? I was like, Mark, that may be one of the best steaks I've ever ate. I thought it was that good. What did you think, honestly?
It was up there.
It was up there, one of the best ever.
There, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. If it was I'm guessing it was Australian Wagyu, probably about an A5 or something like that. It was marbled all the way across it. And
we debated for a while, because once we opened the package up, we debated, are these ribeyes or are these strips? Because they were
close. Yeah, they were down towards that far end of the ribeye, because it still had some spinalis. That's where the spinalis kind of quits, but the spinalis on it that it had.
Oh, it was good.
You didn't need a knife. You didn't need teeth. Granny could eat those. She could gum that one. Oh yeah. I couldn't eat the whole thing. It was one of those steaks. Normally, it wasn't a monster. It was probably we think it's 16 ounces? Probably 14, 16 ounces.
Yeah.
It was a good size. It was what you'd want if you ordered a steak out.
Yeah.
Normally, ribeye, I'm going to eat the thing. Because we had asparagus with it, and then I did a little, like a tomato salad. Yeah. That's all we had.
Fresh tomato salad.
Yeah. We didn't have potatoes. We didn't have no starches, anything like that. And normally I was like, I got this whole ribeye. No, halfway through, it was like, oh, man. We did have a couple bottles of wine. What was we drinking that night with that?
Chardonnay.
Chardonnay.
There was one that was a menage a trois Chardonnay, and one was a layer cake Chardonnay.
They were both good.
Yeah.
I'm not a wine snob, but there was some good Chardonnay.
Well, how did you season it?
Man, Old Faithful way. This was the old school. Put some Worcestershire, but not like marinated in it. Just like drizzled a little bit of Worcestershire.
You like dashes.
Sprinkles.
Yeah.
Rubbed it in. Let it set about 15 minutes. Flipped it. Did the same thing. Made sure I got the edges too. And after the Worcestershire, it don't really give it a whole lot of flavor, but it kind of stains. I say it stains it a little bit. It helps it brown up, a lot like browning or something like that.
Yeah.
And so then I come back with AP and did the same thing. So I let it go 30 minutes each time. AP'd it, let it set 30 minutes, flipped it, let it set 30 minutes. So it's been out an hour and a half.
Yeah, and it's coming up to room temp.
Yeah, coming up to room temp. The fat on it's starting to get happy because it's that good fat. And then I come back then I just hit it with some TX. That was it. I didn't put any barbecue rub, no steak rub. It was AP and TX was the only thing, and a little bit of Worcestershire for color. Cooked them on the Weber kettle, on grill grates, running about 500 degrees.
Royal Oak charcoal.
Yeah, minute and a half.
Regular briquette.
Minute and a half twist, minute and a half flip, same thing. Took them off. Didn't temp them. Wasn't worried about it. And they were perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm talking about medium rare, right before medium. I mean, it was, oh, man.
You said it wouldn't be a point in temping it because of all the fat.
That's what that's really what I was thinking, because I don't know if you ever tempt the spinalis, but the spinalis, because it has a lot of marbling in it, you get false readings. Because as that fat starts to break down and do its thing on the heat, it gives you false readings. So I didn't, I was like, and I've experienced it before, and this fat was all the way through that steak. I was like, there's not going to be a good place to temp it anyway. So you just got to go by feel and what it looks like in time. That's how I did it.
And it felt, and
I don't think that would have been too rare for anybody, but you wouldn't have said it was too done either. It was perfect doneness.
Yeah.
And the texture on it, man.
And you don't get a lot of the juice. Because of, I guess, all the marbling.
The fat, it stays in it.
Yeah.
Even when you sliced it, you could still see some of those strips.
Yes.
Or fat pockets that are just, because, normally when you eat a ribeye, you get there and you get to some of the fatty parts, and then the loin's real lean. This one just stays, it's like a whole spinalis steak.
It is. It
reminds me of.
But it was better.
It's rich. But man, it's good.
One thing you did that I thought was really great is you made a fresh tomato salad. You did, homegrown tomatoes, basil, chiffonade some basil.
Seasoned them with TX. Peeled them and sliced them. That's the key. You got to peel them. You can't have that old tough tomato skin on
I don't mind it. You do, but
I'm a tomato snob.
You are. But you used feta cheese instead of mozzarella.
I did. I
like that.
When I do a caprese salad, the mozzarella is fine, but when you put a whole slice of mozzarella with the whole slice of tomato, just the cheese overloads it. Then you end up stopped up for a bit.
You're already eating Wagyu.
Yeah, you're already eating Wagyu. So I just use a little feta, just to give it a little bit of a
But I think it's got more flavor.
I did too. Yeah. I like that. I drizzled it with just a little bit of olive oil and then a little bit of balsamic drizzle and then chiffonade basil over the top instead of doing big leaves of basil. And man, it makes a great little salad with steak, especially this time of year when you can get fresh tomatoes. That's the whole key to that. I had those McNair County homegrown tomatoes that my mom and dad brought me.
That you dream about all year.
I dream about all year. You only get them for like 3 weeks tops, but you can just taste the sunshine in them. They're almost sweet. They're so ripe, they're almost sweet, and then you can taste the acidity in them, and you taste the sunshine in them, and that's how you do tomatoes.
We've been eating tomatoes at one a day.
At least I usually eat one for breakfast and one for dinner. Man, you can't beat a tomato with a little TX.
That's what came out of that BLT TikTok was the comments were saying like, you peel tomato. Like, wait, like people do this? This is crazy. Which I didn't know it either, honestly.
What?
So,
you don't peel tomatoes. Is it a Southern thing? We've always, I grew up, my granny always peeled tomatoes. Y'all didn't peel tomatoes either?
My aunt would, but most of the time we just
people don't want to take the time to peel them.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's easy to peel them, but it's not the most difficult thing.
I didn't eat a lot of tomatoes when I was a kid.
Really? We did tomato season, and that's all we. My papa would grow 200 or 300 plants. We had tomatoes. He'd put up tomato sauce and just canned tomatoes and salsa and stewed tomatoes and all the stuff. And pickle the green tomatoes. Tomatoes was a big thing in my growing up.
So what is it about the skin? Is it just like a texture thing from your perspective?
Yeah, it's just membrane, like a rib membrane. Why would you want to eat that? I guess there's probably some nutrients.
I bet there is.
If you notice, you really don't digest it. It just passes through. I don't know how much attention people pay. But
what do you eat? What about cherry tomatoes?
I don't. I just eat those.
Yeah.
It's not my favorite tomato to eat.
Yeah.
They're all right. I like roasting them, or cooking them in a little skillet where they'll bust a little bit.
I saw a recipe where you put the sliced tomatoes in a skillet. And basically get them hot and add kind of make an omelet out of it.
Yeah.
Add eggs and cheese and.
I'm down with that.
Yeah, spinach.
Like a frittata type thing.
We've been doing that feta pasta where you just cook them all in the bottom of the oven with the block of feta and stuff. Yeah, that's so good.
I want to do that. I want to do that on a smoker. But it's like I think Heath did it on a recipe. You make like a sauce using the block of feta.
Yep.
Put the tomatoes all around it, little olive oil or whatever, season it. Mm-hmm. Get it hot. and then where the feta will melt, and you mix all that, mash all that together, and it makes a sauce.
Use a little pasta water too.
Yeah, and then you mix it with your pasta, right? So it's like a fresh sauce. That sounds good.
I love a good pasta.
Do that with some shrimp.
You can eat it cold too. Like, so after you cook it and stuff, it makes a great like
pasta salad. Yeah,
exactly.
I like doing those little tomatoes, just oil and season them up, getting them hot, and then toasting some bread, making like bruschetta. You kind of put it on there and then sprinkle a little cheese over that, a little basil.
Heck yeah.
I will say that was a great date night meal. Michael was gone Saturday night. You just can't get a steak like that in any restaurant.
I'll put that up against any.
You can't get weird with it at a restaurant.
No. That's right. I hadn't had one that's that good at a restaurant. I've had a lot of steaks at restaurants.
Yeah.
Salt Bays ain't that good. Did you go to his restaurant? Is he in New York and California? It's
New York.
It's New York, yeah.
That dude is making a killing.
Oh,
like,
I think it's like ridiculous to go eat there.
Like thousands of
dollars.
I could only imagine.
For him to come out and do the salt thing and do it for you, I think that's where the money. Well, you can probably go there and eat for a couple $100 a head.
But if you want
the show, you should fix to spend some money.
It'd be like at this point, like Gordon Ramsay coming out to your table, delivering your food and topping,
dog cussing you, calling you a donkey.
So this week, your recipe was a meatball sub, barbecue
meatball sub, not with just any old meatball either, with fresh, made by these hands meatballs. And I have to say, the meatballs themselves were fantastic. I was like, I'm never buying frozen. We've done a lot of dishes or appetizers where we'll use the frozen meatballs because it's quick. You got the ones you like to do in the mustard, Carolina mustard sauce. Yep. I've done barbecue meatballs or regular like meatball subs with the tomato-based sauce. But these, and it was so simple to do. I used 1 pound of beef, ground 80-20, and then 1 pound of ground pork. And I seasoned it with some of my sausage season, just the regular, not the spicy, to give it, kind of a sausage flavor. And then I used some of my barbecue ground.
You could use sausage.
Yeah, if you just wanted to buy Jimmy Dean's, you could do that. But I'm telling you, the sausage season gives it a lot of fresh flavor.
I think so too.
That's why I liked it. But then
it gives it it gives it more flavor.
Yeah. And some finely minced onion, about half a small onion. You don't need a ton of onion. Some Parm cheese, a little garlic, a couple eggs to hold it together, and some breadcrumbs. And mix it all together. And I just put them on a rack, like a chicken rack, and stuck them on the pit. They were probably done in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I'd let them go about 40 just to make sure, and then put them in another pan, pour regular barbecue sauce all over the top of them, and let them glaze. Oh man, that's a barbecue meatball right there.
It was really good.
Then I said sub time. Took a whole loaf of French bread, hollowed it out, made a canoe out of it, tore out some of the bread, filled it up with the provolone cheese first, so it has a base. So my sauce wouldn't just soak into the bread. Mm-hmm. Filled it up with as many meatballs I could in there, topped it with mozzarella cheese, put it back on the grill. And I was just like, well, you probably serve this open face, but when I put the top piece of bread back on, you could cut it and pick it up. And that's the way to do it. Like if you're serving that for tailgate or, got people coming over or whatever, they'll remember that meatball sandwich.
You could get some like smaller subs.
Yeah.
If you just
you can make individual, like what are those little bolo rolls?
Yeah.
Bolo or whatever they're called. Like a little sub roll, that'd work good. You could probably put 4 or 5 meatballs in that. You could use the hoagie roll. You really need something you stuff it from the top though, instead of like slicing it in half. Yeah. It's not going to stay on there too good. You need something you can load it from the top. I think that's the way to go. But I saw, this is what I wanted to do with them. I saw this TikTok video where they took, the little slider, like the Hawaiian rolls.
Yeah. And
they had scooped out the bread to where it made like a hole, and then they put, they did them like what do you call that? Just like a regular meatball where it had tomato sauce and meatball.
Yeah.
But I was like, those barbecue ones would be good in there. You can put a little round of cheese in the bottom, set your meatball on it, top it with more cheese, and then you put that in the oven and let it warm up. Then you got your little one biters, one meatball.
It's more like a 2-biter, but
that's a big meatball. That's a big meatball.
But no, I like that idea. That turns it into like more of a tailgate food.
Yeah, it's easier to eat that way.
Yeah, and I love like.
Could you eat a dozen of them? I don't know, because those meatballs are hearty, man.
They were big.
Hardy. It made a good meatloaf. You could have made a meatloaf that way, too.
You could have, like a barbecue meatloaf. I I like barbecue sauce and cheese personally.
It goes good, doesn't it? You don't think about it, but it really does.
So I'm all about the barbecue style meatball sub. So I pulled it up. You've made like an smoked Italian meatball sub recipe with Italian flavors.
Yeah.
Marinara sauce.
Yeah.
You made it on November 6th, 2015.
That's been a while ago. That's Old House.
It was the Old House, yeah.
Yellow kitchen or
I didn't look
freshly painted kitchen?
I just pulled it up to see the date on it.
I got you.
But you kept it simple. You didn't use any peppers. You didn't use any pepperoncinis. But you could throw.
What meat did I use? Did I use sausage on that, or Italian sausage, or
You used some compart.
oh, and then
ground pork.
doctored up Italian seasonings and stuff.
Yeah.
We did that for a class one time, for that hog class. We made a bunch of it, and that's where that recipe came from.
It is.
You could serve that with peppers and you could have done peppers and onions on this one if you would have been good.
Yeah. You could have thrown some pepperoncini peppers on it.
It kind of
with it.
It reminds me of like we were talking about barbecue spaghetti last podcast, so it just kind of reminds me of the same idea there, but like on a sandwich.
Yeah,
and that sounds awesome to me.
It was really.
Oh,
good.
I would have scooped those that sauce with those meatballs over some
spaghetti.
noodles.
That would have
topped it
with cheese there.
I'd have gotten down on that.
Now that would be good. That'd be really
Garlic
good.
bread.
We had a few meatballs left over. I've just been snacking on them all week.
Yeah.
With their cold meatball and barbecue sauce, it's good. Man, it's good.
I think this is the first time you've used your sausage seasoning in a video recipe.
Yeah, I hadn't even made sausage with it on video yet, but that's coming. I got to make some.
And you've
probably
had
making
that.
some deer sausage with it this fall. There's nothing wrong. I probably just didn't do a butt video and show you how people how to make their own sausage at home with a butt.
Oh yeah,
grind
how
it,
to grind
mix it up. Yeah,
that's a good idea.
how to put it in the little packages to store it for the freezer.
I'm not crazy about grinding it, but I like to take ground pork and mix it with the sausage seaseaning.
That's the easy way. You can buy ground pork by the pound, or if you got a grinder, grind your own. Or if you got a stand mixer, what's the stand mixer? KitchenAid stand mixer. They make a sausage grinding attachment that's perfect for doing a butt.
Small.
You're not gonna do a case of them, but if you just want to do, 5 or 6 pounds of a butt, that'd be perfect.
We've ground a lot of meat in a KitchenAid stand mixer, and it gets tired.
It does.
You
It's a slow go.
You get
I
tired
got a big
of it after a while.
bite limb now though,
Yeah.
so I can mow through some.
But y'all also use it for cooking butt.
It makes
like
a really good butt seasoning. You mix
how
it
do you
with
do
brown
it?
sugar. So you take 1 cup of the sausage seasoning, and then 1 cup of brown sugar or turbinado sugar, or you can split that, half a cup of brown, half a cup of turbinado. Mix that together, and it makes this real. It has plenty of salt to it. It has a little heat to it. You get a little saginess from it because it's a country sausage seasoning, but and it's got a lot of black pepper. So it really makes this awesome bark, and when you add the sugar to it, it kind of sweetens it up, and it makes this. It's a Texas-looking bark. It's not like a red bark, like a barbecue rub, So it has that darkness to it, like almost like a Texas-style barbecue, but it's got all these other flavors that you wouldn't think the bark would have. That's why it makes it so good.
And you don't taste it and think, sausage.
Oh no, you
I
never
don't.
know. You would never
Yeah.
know. You would never know. Heck, you used it before making spaghetti.
I use it in a lot of my Italian dishes.
Just to give it a little bump because it's got it's got that sage, it's got some herbs that go good with it. It's got really good flavor.
Have you ever used the hot? Because you have a regular.
Yeah, the hot's what I like to use when I use butts.
Okay, so you do.
So
use
it does
hot.
because it gives it a little kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you could use the regular. The only difference is it's got way more cayenne pepper in it. Because sausage, typically if you look at it, even when you buy store bought sausage, you can see some red pepper flake. You can see the black pepper in it. And so it has some level of pepperness heat to it. But the spicy, I put the cayenne to it too. So it's got the red pepper flakes, it's got the cayenne, it's got black pepper, it's got a little white pepper. It's just kind of spiced up like the hot rub,
Yeah.
but in a sausage form.
I've never used the hot to make like breakfast sausage with.
Yeah.
I've
I
always just
put it
used
up
the
in the
regular.
freezer. I mix it with my deer sausage. I like spicy deer sausage too, so it's good. You got to try the sausage season though. If you ain't making your own sausage or at least using it for something, then you're missing out.
I have to get me some of that.
Have you not tried it?
I've tried it when y'all have cooked it,
Yeah.
but I've never tried it. Like now she's talking like Italian. Italian's my favorite.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah, you could do it.
And you wouldn't think about adding a country sausage seasoning to like a pot of spaghetti or something, but
It goes, and you don't need like a teaspoon.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just get a little pinch.
There's other brands of sausage seasoning you can find. I know Legs is one of the probably more popular ones made over in Alabama. That's the one I grew up using just because that's the only one we saw at the store.
But most of that type sausage seasoning, it's like, get this whole big package.
And mix it with 25 pounds of meat.
Your directions are a tablespoon to a pound. And you can, like, if you don't want it too flavorful, you can bring it back. The
way I started when I started making it was mix it up by the pound. Start with, how much ever you like a half a tablespoon. And then pull a little bit out and go fry it up right then.
Yeah.
And taste it. And if it needs a little more, put you another half tablespoon. And get it right. That way you got it to your liking then. But 1 tablespoon is perfect.
I think so too.
It's the perfect seasoning. All the flavors are right. The salt's right. The pepper's right. The sausage flavor is there.
Yeah, but some people don't like flavor.
Yeah. They can eat lettuce.
I'm not going to say what kind of people they are, but...
Yankees.
Malcolm told me I can't make fun of Yankees anymore. It makes him nervous. Look at him.
I got a lot of northern friends. I got Tyler here with me. Don't offend anybody. We all like to eat.
That's it, riot time.
Yeah.
So
her southern roots. If you ain't from south of the Mason-Dixon line, you can't be friends with me. You don't know nothing about food.
The funny part is up north, in my opinion, food-wise, like, you don't go up there, you don't have, like, Yankee food, per se. Like, you come down here, you have Southern food.
Yeah.
You go up there, you get really good, like, Italian food and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For places
I
from
agree.
other places,
Yes.
melting pot.
yes, I agree.
So I agree with her to a certain extent.
To a certain extent.
I know. I just like picking on them. So somebody shot an email to me this week, and I thought it was a really great idea. They wanted to know what your recipe was for boiled peanuts.
Boiled peanuts.
And I personally love boiled peanuts.
It's real hard. Salt and water. Unless you do it Cajun style, then you add king crawl boil.
That's what they were talking about.
Yeah, that's all you do. I've boiled peanuts in leftover crawfish water. It's good. Real good.
We need to do a recipe with green peanuts because they're starting to be harvested right now.
Yeah, it's peanut time. We're getting there.
Yeah.
It won't be long.
But let's do a boiled peanuts recipe.
Oh, we can do that.
We can
problem
put king crawl in it.
Yeah. The problem is nobody likes them except me and you. Mainly it's but the real way, like when I go buy boiled peanuts, like they're up here in our part of the state, you don't see them a whole lot. But as you go south in Mississippi, there's people with peanut stands set up all over the place, and that's where I first started eating them. I mean, they're real big in Georgia, I guess, because they grow a lot of peanuts over there. But up here, people don't like them, and you even see them in some gas stations. They have the kind that's like in the little kettle by the nacho pumps.
They're called like Cajun peanuts.
Yeah, those come in a tin can. They put them over in that thing and let them warm up. And then
My wife gets those often.
Does she like
often?
Yeah.
Yep.
I love boiled peanuts because I like
think they're great.
the best part. It's not the peanut itself; it's the juice and the flavor. And either they're briny and salty or they're Cajun spiced. That's the only two ways I've ever had them.
We're doing some boiled peanuts here at the shop one day.
Heck
we'll make a TikTok about it or a video. We're doing
all the
something.
peanuts.
I mean, when I grew up, they were everywhere.
Did you have a recipe for it? We filled up a crawfish pot and dumped in, I don't know, 4 or 5 boxes of salt.
Yeah.
And that's usually how they were done. And we didn't, we didn't do the Cajun ones. Only time you do the Cajun ones is if somebody could get some green peanuts when you had a crawfish season. But usually those seasons don't overlap.
Yeah. But now that you have the crawfish bowl,
it's something to do in the fall.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, they were a staple at every one of my family. Big
barbecues and
family
I remember
events.
4th of July, they'd be boiling peanuts.
Yeah.
If you had a catfish cook, somebody was boiling peanuts.
Yeah.
Tailgate. I've seen them at tailgates. People bringing the crawfish rig out and boiling peanuts at the tailgate.
I've only had them once, and they were like pretty tasteless, but they were those ones that they sell at the gas station. They were the original. So I'd definitely try the ones that, homemade ones.
They have, if you're watching your sodium,
they're not good for you at all. They will jack your blood pressure up. Because usually you buy them by the pound. If you eat a whole pound of them, well, they're going to jack your blood pressure up, and they're going to be all the fiber you need. I guess that salt water does a number on you there too, but man, they will get you. Boiled peanuts,
I feel like we talk about a lot of foods on this show
And then
that will stop you.
They either stop you up or make you go. These will not stop you up. They will do the opposite. So if you eat all the cheese, you need to eat some boiled peanuts. About a pound to do you right. It'll get you back.
Doctor's orders.
Yeah, this is the segment we talk about medicine on.
Well, if you get some boiled peanuts and some watermelon, that's what they would feed us in the summertime. You were good.
Oh, y'all were super regular. No doubt about it.
So we're gonna do that. That's
Yeah, I'm all about boiling some peanuts. We had to. Martin, Jamie, and Mikey, they won't eat them. They
Why?
like hate them. They say they're just soggy. That it's a texture thing.
What?
Messes up good peanuts. Yeah,
I don't know if they've had any good boiled peanuts.
probably not. You know what? I think there's a guy up on Goodman Road I've seen before that sells. I wonder. I've never tried them.
Maybe,
I was like,
yeah.
that guy don't know how to boil peanuts. That's what I was thinking. If you're up here boiling them, more than likely you don't know what you're doing.
You mean to tell me Mark Williams sits at his desk popping quail eggs all day, but he
Yeah,
won't
he'll eat a boiled quail egg.
And now he's been on the
Boiled-
chicken skins. The fried chicken skins are real good.
They smell so bad.
They're terrible.
They're not that bad.
Man, it tastes like the worst. It tastes like bad chicken grease. If you've ever had fried chicken fried in
does have
bad
that
grease,
flavor.
and it's the old leftover crunchy parts that don't even have any meat on it, that's what it tastes like.
I just can't get past the smell, man. Like I haven't even tried them because I opened the bag. I'm like, nope, nope. Can't
So
do
it's supposed to be like
Smells
this
like a chicken farm.
keto, carb friendly snack, and it's just fried chicken skins. You find them on Amazon a lot. I think he ordered a case of them.
A case of fried. There's all different flavors.
Yeah.
I tried one. I was like, no, this isn't good.
And I love chicken skin.
Yeah.
Like in general,
Real
like,
fried chicken skin or
but not that.
crispy chicken skin.
I thought it was okay.
You could get down on it.
I mean, one or two.
Pork skins are way better.
Yeah. If you get good, fresh
Yeah,
pork
that's
skins.
something we need to do a video on.
Yes.
Pork skin. I need to order some.
Go ahead. Order them.
I've been wanting to do that. I thought I had some, but I guess we ate them all or cooked them all.
Your mom cooked a bunch.
They're really good.
They're the
That's
best.
something if you could get those in the store, the dehydrated pork pellets, where people can fry their own and use it because you can season them any kind of way you want. Any rubs good on them.
Can we sell them here?
They're the way I buy them, they're not for resale.
Oh, okay.
They just come in a big box and plastic bag. It's all greasy.
Yes, it'll show up
But
at
if
the
you can
house.
find them if you can find the grease.
It'll be a 50-pound box that's greasy and the boxes started like melting, you know. It's
I have to
horrible.
prepackage them. I usually vacuum fill them up to save them.
Is that what they call chicharrones? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing. It's a dehydrated pork pellet.
I'll put that on the list.
Process. I was like, man, I could do a video making the process of making them is pretty involved. You've got to get the pork skin, you got to get all the meat off of it, you got to boil it, then you got to cut it up in strips, then you got to dehydrate it to get it the right consistency, then you got to fry them, turn them into pork skins or chicharrones. So I was like, well, it's easier to buy them and let American Skins go ahead and do all that part. We just get the pellets and then you just drop them in, and it'll take a minute and a half to fry them.
And then you can season them however you want.
And you talk about keto, they're ultimate keto. There's a lot of those recipes where they use those or use pork skins for breading or for whatever you're doing.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. You crunch
My
it up, use it
favorite,
for
one of my
bread.
favorite way to eat them is pimento cheese and a piece of smoked sausage and a little drizzle of barbecue sauce. Man,
Throw a jalapeno on there.
yeah. Oh, how the pickle, the sweet fire pickles
Yeah.
on top, so good.
So kind of like a sausage cheese plate, but instead of
Yes.
crackers, you're serving it with.
That's right,
Yes.
with pork skins. So you eliminate the carbs. Just add. Is there carbs in pimento cheese? I'm sure there is.
No, not very many.
We used to do
It's a lot of fat, but
when I worked at Uncle Bubba's, we used to do like people would order barbecue nachos, but want it with the pork.
Yeah, it's the same.
Oh, yeah,
same
yeah, yeah.
carbs.
was
Yeah.
that good?
I've never done that.
It was pretty good. The only thing I'll say is like it starts to kind of like melt a little bit
gets
because usually when you
soggy.
put it in your mouth, it's kind of yeah.
Yeah.
So when you put that barbecue sauce and that cheese on there, so it gets a
Yeah.
little soggy by the middle and stuff. But
If you like scooped it piece by piece, it would be good.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah,
But
it's just
letting it sit there and get soggy, I can see that.
not quite the same. It's more like eating a plate of barbecue rather than the barbecue nacho.
Yeah.
I love a good barbecue nacho fries. You know, where you put
Tots.
everything or tots. Yeah.
That's
That's
my.
good, too.
I would say that would be my go-to, and over nachos would be the fries for sure, like
Yeah.
the big steak fries.
Yeah, like Huey's fries.
Oh yeah.
I like the Undergrounds. They got good fries.
Yeah, they're real potato-y, but not too starchy. They're just good.
Good fries. Good taters.
Good day.
It must be close to lunchtime.
Actually, we got a lot to do. We got to shake a leg. So, what else do we have left to do? You got to trim meat.
I got to trim meat. Still got to go to the store and buy the perishable stuff.
Yep.
Got to do chicken. World's best chicken trimmer is going to work. She's coming out of retirement. She's going to cook. She's going to trim chicken tonight.
Did you trim the chicken the last time you cooked KCBS?
Yeah. No, I think you felt bad for me coming there and said, I'll do it. I got everything out and started. You jumped in and finished it for me. And then I think you cussed me the whole way. This chicken while I'm doing it. As you were going. Rubble, rubble, rubble.
That doesn't sound like me at all.
Rubble, rubble, rubble.
Would you rather listen to that or trim your own chicken?
I'd rather listen to that. I'd rather stand there and do anything and get you whatever you need. Pour you some wine, put your favorite music on.
Do you know what trimming chicken involves, Tyler?
That's where we need a video. You need to let him do a TikTok of you.
You think it's just
chicken.
like.
I mean, I've watched him do the lollipops, and if it's anything kind of even close to that, like to that tediousness.
Oh, it's way worse.
Do you mean like whole like
thighs?
Whole thighs.
You pull the skin back and you scrape all the fat
off the back of the skin
until the skin is see-through.
And you take the veins out. And you weigh them and get them the exact weight. And you got to go through so many to get us 12 that are all the exact same.
You did that for the everything bagel ones, didn't you? Or
no, he didn't trim them.
I don't think I trimmed much. I did do a light trim, but I didn't do
you squared them up?
Yeah.
So it's even worse than that. So I kind of get.
Oh, yeah.
I got you. That sounds
worse.
It takes like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
2 hours. Yeah.
I could see me.
Usually do 2 big family packs, right? And I to get 12.
Sometimes 3. I usually get 3 to get 12. Anyway, we're fixing to go do that.
We're fixing to go do all that. I got to trim brisket, trim pork, trim ribs, cut some MBM ribs down. Mark's going to do that on the saw. He brought the saw back up here. We got to go get chicken, go get our parsley or lettuce, bake some injections up, put some sauce together for the contest, get all that stuff packed, go get my clothes ready, fuel up the truck.
What time are we leaving in the morning?
Propane in the trailer, 4 a.m. I think. So it's going to be these next 12 hours are going to be exciting.
Go find out what you made of.
Yeah, you got to sleep in there somewhere too. You may just hit the truck and sleep on the way up there.
Well, let's go hit it.
Let's go hit it. Tyler, you got anything else we need to talk about today before we get off here?
No, everybody just remember, we're still raising money for the Palmer home. We have the app you can download and find all of Malcolm's favorite recipes on there. Shell, where can they find you? Switch it up this week.
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok, Miss Southern Shell. If you'd like to connect with Malcolm, it's HowToBBQRight on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and of course YouTube.
And you can find me in Galax, Virginia this weekend if you're in the area. Y'all come by and say hi. I promise you it's going to be a fun time in Galax. Yes. And we gone.